Welcome back to the show. I've got loads of questions today, right, which triggered me to actually make a video. But what I want to do is, before I get into this video, whatever you're about to hear today, right, or if you're listening or whatever you're doing, right, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this, what I'm going to say here, is going to be financial advice, right? Please understand this, right? It's just going to be mostly the opinions of my own and information that I would normally give to friends and family, right? So I'm going to be talking to you as if you're my brother, as if you're my sister. What I would tell them is exactly what I'm telling you right now. So please bear that in mind, and take everything with a pinch of salt, because I can be more volatile than the market at sometimes, right? So let me explain what I'm about to talk about here. So earlier on today, we were on Discord. In fact, if we go even further back, there was a chart, not a chart, but like my trading view watch list. I just took a screenshot of that last night, and I said, perspective is what matters. If you don't realize what I'm seeing here, then you don't know what's going on. So on that chart, I saw everything was bloody, but what I noticed was the total market cap was holding very strong, right? So for me, that was an indicator saying that, hold on guys, we're absolutely fine. The market's about to make its next move. So that's what I saw on that one. I just wanted to clear that one out, right? And then we had a long conversation about Scallop, a cryptocurrency project, which is launching their own cryptocurrency exchange. They're planning to get rid of their Scallop coins and make it into USDT or whatever, or your currency, your normal fiat currency. Don't want to even know about it. In my opinion, it's a complete scam. So again, not a financial advice. Do whatever you want to do. Maybe it might make you a millionaire, by all means, right? Now, we then had a conversation on Discord talking about other stuff. So I'm kind of multitasking, guys. Remember also, everything you see on my videos is as original as it gets. I'm not scripted. I don't do research and whatnot. In fact, what I'm about to answer right now came to me only a few minutes ago. I was in a meeting, just came out of the meeting, and I just started the video. So whatever you're about to hear is based on that. So there was a person who was talking about one of the members on Discord. He spoke about which coin to pick up, right? Should it be Manta? Should it be Neutron? And what's the other one? I can't remember. He mentioned something. He said, should it be either one of those? I think it's Jupiter. Yeah, that's it, Jupiter. He said, which one would I pick, right? Now, as a brother, as I would say to my own family members, this is the advice I would give, right? No financial advice. Right now, with the market in a parabola, right? Unless you already hold these coins, right? Unless you already receive some and this and that, then you're fine, right? You just hodl those and go as high as you can. But I wouldn't buy any, right? I wouldn't buy fresh any. Doesn't matter how much they pump. They could pump to 100x by all means, right? I would not deploy fresh cash. Now, why do I say this, right? Please, guys, understand this, right? With the market, the structure that we have, right? We could easily go to, $68,000, $69,000 BTC and then just completely come down and sit there for another year. But when this happens, other alts that you may be picking up right now could bleed out even faster. So understand where I'm coming from, right? Just because the market is now pumped and everything is all looking good doesn't necessarily mean that alts will pump. And what I mean by that, and please understand this, right? So if you rewind back, right, and I'm just going to talk about 2017, for example. So 2017 bull market, which started in 2015 anyway. So middle of 2015 it started. But 2017 bull market, by the end of the bull market, we can count, right? We can sit there and over 2-3 pages of coin market cap or whatever, we can count how many tokens there were. Does that make sense, right? We can count that. And then obviously, as we progress back in 2020, right, when the market started pumping, so we can call it the 2020 bull market or the 2021 bull market, it doesn't matter what you call it, but it started in 2019. We ended up building more and more tokens and more coins during that particular time. And we ended up getting, a nice little bull run, right? But at the same time, what you have to notice is the 2017 one, basically, right? I'm focusing too much on that one. There's a reason, right? Is what was the total market cap of crypto, of the entire market cap, right? That's what you need to focus on. And then 2021, what was the total market cap of the entire crypto space with the limited coins that we had? And I say limited, it's only a matter of context, basically, even though we had thousands, right? But the point is compared to millions now, thousands is nothing, right? So that's how we got to look at this, right? What was the valuation of the market and who was leading the charge, right? Who had the biggest dominance, right? So if you start looking at the market structure and you start seeing what the valuations are, of some of these coins right now, things start to look different, right? And what we see is markets currently sitting at 1.8 something trillion dollars. Doesn't matter where it is, right? But BTC is close to its all-time high, right? So who has the biggest dominance, right? 53% of the entire market is BTC. That tells me BTC is currently holding close to $1 trillion. What are the rest doing, right? And when you look at all the blue chips, right? So we give the benefit of the blue chips having another 45% of the market. That only means like there's only about 1 or 2% of the entire market being run by the other millions of coins. They haven't pumped. When you start seeing the price reflected on the total market cap at the 1.8 whatever trillion dollars it is today, right? What you're noticing is that the valuation for the entire market is showing there, obviously, but the others haven't significantly pumped, right? And obviously they haven't caught up yet. The parabola has started, but none of the other tokens reflect anything. Now, as I said, some of these coins could end up doing 100x. By all means, it doesn't matter, right? But I'm looking at this now and I'm like, okay, we're not back to where we were previously. We were at $3 trillion previously with less coins. Currently, we're not, right? That tells me that, guys, be careful, right? Guys, be careful. It doesn't matter if people say, oh, altcoin season's coming and this and that. Listen, we hear that all the time. When people start seeing 1 or 2 alts move, right, or 1 or 2 influencers talk about some alts and then they start pumping, all of a sudden it's the altcoin season. No, it's not the freaking altcoin season. I'll tell you why it's not the altcoin season. Because there's over 2 million, right, if not 3 million altcoins out there. And I say 3 million because only 2+ million are being tracked by CoinMarketCap, but they are trading. Right? There are others, almost another 1 million tokens that are trading, not being tracked by CoinMarketCap. Understand where I'm coming from? They're not even being tracked. They're not even listed on CoinMarketCap. So think about that. 3 million tokens have not pumped, right? Just because one token from whatever social media influencer or whatever pump and dump scheme starts pumping, doesn't mean the entire market's moving, right? And whenever you're seeing the valuation show up on the total market cap, right? All of a sudden you're seeing, oh, the total market right now is at 1.8 something trillion dollars. Remember, a lot of them are only displaying prices because of what BTC and because of what Ethereum and because of what Solana's done, right? So please understand this, right? You know, yes, we can follow narratives, right? But at the same time, we don't want to go and jump into something where we might end up losing money. Now, when we talk about projects like, you know, what's Manta, for example? Manta, for me, Manta is just the same as any other. Is similar to Optimism, similar to Arbitrum. In fact, it uses Ethereum to pay gases, a Manta version of Ethereum to pay gases. So to me, it's just the freaking same thing. It's a layer 2, right? But obviously, it was launched in a particular way through the Polkadot parachain. Great. Neutron is a fantastic technology. I do like it. I would love to use that technology. But again, I'm not talking about the technology with the investment. You know what I mean? So technology is great. But when it comes to the investment, I've got to weigh it out, right? So when I look at Manta or Optimism or Arbitrum, I always ask myself, how many more blockchains do we need? It's only one Ethereum, and Ethereum, if it fixes its scaling solution, then all of these projects that have been there to make Ethereum scalable and whatnot and this and that, make it cheaper and whatnot, may be irrelevant. Maybe not in 5 years' time, maybe a decade's time, but the point is they will become obsolete. So do I look at that? Not exactly, right? So when I look at Neutron and I see what they're trying to do, that makes more sense to me. So definitely I'll be looking at Neutron. But would I be buying any? No. Do I hold some? Yes, I do. But the point is, I didn't buy them now. I will not buy a single crypto or single coin today. Doesn't matter what it is. You can give me $1 million today and say, Sham, here's $1 million, right? We don't care if you win, if you lose, whatever happened, you burn it by all means. But we want you to go and invest it into some cryptocurrency, right? As a responsible trader, I will not be touching a single one of them. Believe me, I will not be touching a single one of them. I'd rather lock it up. If I've got USDC or USDT, I'd rather lock it up and earn 3, 4, 5% interest on it, APY on it, instead of burning it, because it is absolutely not worth it. The very same coins today, whatever price you're seeing at, you will be getting them far more cheaper in the future. So just keep that in mind. Yes, you have a pick, no problem. Look at the technology layers, no problem, right? That's what we want. We want to invest into the technology, absolutely. but we're not irresponsible traders where we're going to go and invest in something right now, especially on a parabola, trying to make some money. But we're diversifying so much that we just don't have the capacity, right? We don't have the computing power in ourselves to go and manage all of these funds at the same time. So you are going to miss one or two, right? However, if somebody goes in and trades and says, right, I want to buy because I know this thing's going to pump, great, and is responsible enough to set up stop losses, set up trailing stops or whatever you want, or target price, exit prices, right? Then you're fine. Yes, you can buy this and you can do this, right? But that's something, again, you have to sit there and automate for yourself, because if you don't, you're just trying to dig a hole for yourself, which you might never come out of. So understand this, right? And, you know, I can only say so much, right? As a person, as a human being, I can only say so much, right? Ultimately, it's your money. You do whatever you want, obviously. But this is how I would say this to my friends and family. Guys, understand where we are in this current state of the market. If you followed what I've said to you from the beginning, or from the bear market, or from when we went into the bear market, every single step that I've taken, right, everything that I've said will happen, right, has happened to a certain extent, right? I'm not going to say I'm 100% accurate, right? I do sometimes make jokes and I do make bold predictions and all sorts of crazy stuff. There's only twice in my life I've made a prediction, right? One about BTC going to 100K, and another one about recently, right? You know, if it doesn't happen within 48 hours, it's not going to do this. It's a crazy one, but it had its methodology, right? It's based on some weird maths that I do. Now, I can't explain that maths to you. If somebody asks me, oh, is it based on this? Is it based on that? Is it the Fibonacci saying this? No, none of that. It's just a weird thing that I do sometimes, where I notice certain things on different time frames, on a higher time frame, maybe on a lower time frame, and I'll find a pattern. And when I find that pattern and that pattern looks secure enough, I can then start making calls or predictions based on that. But that's normally something I would do myself. It's a risk I would take. If I make a trade on that call that I've thought about, or the pattern that I've noticed, it's a risk I would take. But at the same time, I'm happy to share screenshots or make a joke or make a comment on my Discord server or whatever, right? So I hope that kind of makes sense. And I hope this kind of answers your question that you asked me, so you know who you are. You asked me a question about all of these things. I'll leave it there. But there was something else that I said I will make a video. Again, look, my mind doesn't work, so I can't remember. Let me see if I can remember it. To talk about was Starknet, right? And so it just completely went out of my head. So with Starknet, what you have to understand is it's a brilliant technology, brilliant project. They're basically taking the Ethereum fees to almost zero with the ZK rollups and whatnot, right? Which is brilliant technology. There's a lot of hype around it. But the one problem I see is the founders are happy to mint as much as they want just to pay themselves. That causes a problem. There's 1.3 million wallets who are going to get an airdrop, which is brilliant. I don't see a problem with that. That's a new thing, right? They're going to get that, makes them very large, very big. I'm happy with that. And it decentralizes them as well sufficiently, I would say. There's a reason behind this. Let me explain to you. So they will decentralize themselves by doing a drop to 1.3 million wallets, plus a quarter of all the supply is going to go to random Ethereum wallets as well, right? So there's a lot of airdrops they're doing. It's going to be like technically the biggest one in history, right? But none of that matters, because at the same time, what's happening is they're launching on exchanges, yes, but the liquidity that's going onto the exchanges is coming from the founders themselves. And the founders are happy, as I said, to print their own coins. So if they need 1 billion supply, they'll print 1 billion. In fact, recently they printed 10 billion tokens. That system is centralization. That system is central control. I mean, why would I trust a coin or a token where the founders are free to go and print as much as they want? It doesn't matter how much they give me. They could give me 1 billion tokens by all means. But if they're going to be printing 10 billion tokens, I've got a problem there. You know what I mean? So this is one of the reasons why I'm not happy with what Starkware, the original company, or Starknet, whatever they're doing. I'm not happy about it. So I hope this kind of answers your question, KR. You know, just don't fall for the hype. Sometimes you got to take a step back and look at the reality and what it is, right? As I talked about Neutron. Neutron is a brilliant technology, and I think there's real use case for this technology, and I would love to use the technology myself, right? But would I invest in it now? No, right? Starkware, am I excited? I was, But now I'm like, well, I might as well just use the technology layer. I'm excited about that. But would I invest into something, or would I even bother with the airdrops that I'm going to receive? I'll probably dump it the moment I get it, because I am going to get some, right? I'll just dump it because I don't see any use case for it. And especially, I don't see any value for it when somebody can go in and mint more, right? I mean, I'm going to drop this here, right? Let me explain this to you. So if I created a token today, and you go and you look at audit reports and everything, and it's not overhyped or anything like this, and I turn around and I say, well, there's a mint function there, I can mint as much as I want, would you trust me? That's all I'm asking. Would you trust me? Would anybody on the planet trust me? Well, they won't. But if I hype it up enough and I say, I'm going to give you XYZ amount of airdrops and whatnot and this and that, everyone's going to be eligible for airdrops and this and that. And it's so hyped up because it's got a lot of VC funding, a lot of investment going out there, a lot of people, they've received a lot of funding to market this to the globe. Then would you invest in it? You probably would, right? Because you trust it now, because it's all over the globe. There's advertisement, news and everything. So you would definitely invest into that. But when you do, things will change, right? So for me, I can see complete centralization there. It doesn't matter how many airdrops they give to make it sufficiently decentralized. It's not decentralized. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm just saying. So guys, understand, it's a matter of trust. You can't trust a project that can mint as much as they want, to pay themselves whenever they want, calling themselves a non-profit just by registering a company. Doesn't work like that, right? Especially with us investors, it doesn't work like that. So again, if I do pick up any Starkware, Starknet or whatever, I can assure you I will not be touching anything right now. So any crypto right now, I will not be deploying fresh cash. It's not happening. All right. I'm going to wait for a bear market, or at least a bear run, right? A bear run for me to decide whether I'm going to pick up some of this. Maybe in the future, I might change my mind. But right now, I won't. Not with the power that they have to print or mint as many more as they want. So other than that, guys, I hope the video was informative. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.